to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and today we have another Sailfish OS topic, and this one is going to be this Papago or something like that, so Papagei in German. In the end, it's an offline live translation app which will help you to more or less speak into it and translate that to spoken language or to written language, whatever you prefer, and give it, for instance, to another person so it can be heard by them. And it's live, so it's more or less simultaneously, not exactly of course, but it is pretty fast and can be used like this. Is it already production ready or something? I would say probably not for all the languages, but in the end, if you want to just use it for some purposes, or you have just a very urgent case of I don't understand something, or I need to ask something I don't know the language from, then this one is really pretty nice. So as always, I'm going to use my Sailfish OS powered Sony Xperia 10 Mark III, which is this one, which I'm not going to drop down. And in the end, this is going to be streamed, more or less. It's a little bit different. So in the end, this has a web server on it because I'm using screencast as always, and this one is going to screencast or screen more or less everything to the laptop where I'm accessing that with my Firefox in this case. And the Firefox is going to display everything that is on here by, the device is going to take screenshots more or less, and they are projected over here. So just to let you know, you can see everything that is happening on my smartphone. This has a little bit of a lag. One sec, there we go. So in the end, you can already see that. I'm going to hold it like this, and if I do something, then you can see it takes a little bit of time till you can see it on the big screen, but in the end it's more or less close to what you are expecting to see on my smartphone. But the lags and stuff like that are not on my smartphone, they are just because of this technology. And other than that, let's talk about what you have to do to get this app and what to do. In the end, the app is already available in the stores. You can already see it, it's here. Probably I have to turn around again, because I'm doing that always and all the time. So you can see my smartphone screen at the same time as you are seeing the big screen. In general, sometimes I just have some kind of glare or something. Sorry for that, but I can't do much about it, especially because I don't see that at the moment. But in the end, I hope you can see it on the big screen otherwise. Okay, so in the end you can already see there is Papago. It's looking like a little parrot more or less. And where can you get that? First off, you have to install two things to make this work. First off, of course, you have to install Papago, which can be found with Storeman or on Open Webbrowser, and then just go to the search and put in Papago and search for it. There we go. And Papago is just this little app, so just get it. It's pretty new. It has a couple of, I think it's a second iteration of it, so it was very lately updated. And just get this one. In general, you already know how to do that. Go there, and if you didn't install it till now, that should be something like add the repository or install, depending on which kind of state you're in. And just hit that, and then you might be able, or you should be able, to install everything. In this text you will already see that you need the speech note app. So in the end, to get that, it's looking, I can tell you or show you that. Go to my app here. It doesn't really matter, it's in folder, but in the end, if you go in there, you can see there's speech note. Speech note is an app which more or less enables offline speech recognition and text recognition on text-to-speech stuff. And like this, you already can do a lot of different things with this, but this has to be installed before you are doing anything else. Since you can use this for a couple of different apps now, for instance for the, not even apps, for instance if we go in here, click here, you can already see There's even some kind of a keyboard which is running with it and stuff like that. If you want to know more about that, have a look at the corner website. There are a couple of different videos where I'm talking about all the different things I already explored with it. And in the end, you need this app so the Papago app can work. So first off, go in here, and I'm not even sure what would be the first thing you're seeing here, but in the end, you need to go to the menu at the top there, go to languages, and in here you can just search for your preferred languages. For me, that's Deutsch, which is German in the end, English, of course. Espanol, for instance, for me, because I have learned it in my school and I just find it interesting. And yeah, Français, so French in the end, is installed for me too, because I'm just close to the fourth border, and like that, it makes sense that I have that. And in the end, this is not all you have to do. You just have to click on that, and then you can see here are a couple of different things you can install, and I would recommend you to find out which one works the best for your language. Some languages are better than the others, I think, because, for instance, Spanish, so Espanol, is much better recognized than even my German stuff. But maybe it's because, of course, my speaking in Spanish, for instance, is pretty low level, because I never had that in a fluent way and learned it in a fluent way. And of course, maybe that is helping the app to better understand me about whatever. As you can see, I have Deutsch, so German was small. I think this one is the one I found out to be one of the best to recognize my speech. You can already see this is from the options speech to text. And below that, sorry, that he is going to go to sleep here. Try it again. And below that you can find the text-to-speech stuff. That means that that text is, of course, translated or whatever to speech. And so somebody can read something for you, and this is more or less this. I like the Papago, and very interesting and very good is also Piper Torsten Medium. You can see the small little star at this point there, and the small little star says that this is selected as the default one, and this is very important. So to do that, first off, install everything you need. So just as you can see, the little arrow there is giving you, or the hook is giving you the information. Okay, this one has been installed, and after that, just click on that and make sure that you, let's do it here, sets this as a default for this language, because then this one is going to be used for Papago. And of course, if you want to be able to translate stuff, you will have to install the translator down below here too. So Deutsch in English in this case should be activated too. And of course, do that for all the different languages you want to try it out. And after that, you can already use Papago, or you just go into the speech note app again. And at the down here, you can already see, okay, I can listen to stuff, and of course it can read stuff. And by clicking on here, you can just select the different languages you already installed. And like this, you can test out how well the recognition is for this language model, more or less. And if one of them is better than the other, then just use the one and set it up to be the default one for you, because then the results are much better than, for instance, with a worse one. Especially because you have a couple of different steps here going through, of course. But if you did all this, and installing the speech note app is of course done the same way as everything else. Go to Stormont, for instance, or to, I think it's on Shum too, I'm not sure at the moment, but I think it's there too. And put in speech, I think that's already enough. There we go, speech note. And yeah, just install this too. Yeah, and after installing all this, we can now start with the real app we are talking about here, but be warned, it really isn't perfect, and it's very likely that you shouldn't use it for now, at least, for real life conversations. It's just a nice little tech demo at the moment, more or less, because it really has a couple of flaws, or you will have to work around those in a normal conversation. So first flaw, don't try to translate any kind of names or something. It doesn't recognize names. It's just trying to get everything done like it should, listen to it, whatever, and try to really get a real name from that. But, or not a name, but any kind of other word from it. And this is really not working well. So be very careful and aware of that. And one second thing, the translation isn't very good, if you ask me. So it's offline, so in the end it has to work with what is on the smartphone here. But for instance, DeepL or something would be much better in translating stuff. So we are going to try it out. I will give you a couple of different German sentences. And if I think the translation is pretty well in English, I'm going to put up my thumb here. And if it's bad, I'm going to do this, so you can really see what is happening here. So first off, let's start the app. And as mentioned before, it's going to start right from the start to translate. So no button to activate it or something. Very bad. If you ask me, please make it activatable, pausable, something like that, so I really can use it in a daily life conversation and not only in this tech demo stuff. Okay, so first off, we started, and then I'm going to start with a couple of different sentences. Ja, hallo, wie geht es dir?
Yes, hello, how things are here.
Kannst du etwas für mich sagen?
You can say something for me.
Wie ist das Wetter gerade?
How is the weather today?
Wie ist dein Name?
How is your name?
Ich heiße.
I hope.
Mein Name ist.
My name is.
Mein Name ist Gerald.
My name is the trip.
Wie viel kostet das?
How much does it cost?
Wie lange kann ich es behalten?
How long can I keep it?
Arbeitest du gerne hier?
You like working here?
Dieses Video macht viel Spaß.
This video makes many bars.
Dieses Video macht viel Spaß.
This video makes a lot of fun.
Yeah, and I think you can already see that it's really a hit and miss, and there are a couple of different very bad things that are happening here. For instance, the translation engine is pretty bad, if you ask me. For instance, wie heißt du would be what is your name, something like that. The problem about it is that heiß means hot in German. So it could be something different, but it's really one of the standard sentences you are going to hear around, and it's really bad at translating it because it's saying something like "How hot are you?" or something in translation, and that is really not what that means, and it doesn't have any kind of sexual meaning or something. And if this is happening, then this is really not production ready, because at least for German, for instance, for Spanish, which you can of course activate by setting these settings up there, it's going to be much better, at least the different sentences I know. I learned it a little bit, but I'm not really fluent at it or something. And yeah, that one is working pretty okay. The big problem about all this is that you have a couple of different steps that are going through. So first off, you have to have a good speech recognition. After that, you have to have a good translation to another language. So the translation process has to be good. And of course, if the speech recognition already had some kind of a flaw in it, problem with it, or whatever, and there is something wrong in there, then the translation will be bad, of course, too. And after that, it has to be spoken out. The spoken out part is pretty good, if you ask me. So the different languages, there are a couple of them which are very, very natural, which are pretty close to what I would expect it to be. But the problem is if one of the steps is missing something or just having any kind of flaw or any kind of mistake in there, then everything is going to go downhill very, very rapidly. And this is of course something that really makes it, as mentioned before, more like a game for now. Probably it will be better in future, and it will have a couple of different other features there. For instance, as mentioned before, please include some kind of a button where I can tell it to listen after a certain start or whatever. And there are a couple of different problems with this in this way, of course, because, for instance, often it just doesn't catch the first sentence not sentence but word I'm trying to say, and if that is cut out, it can really make a big difference, for instance. So give it a button. I will have to click on it to really start with translation, or at least listening to me and stuff like that. Then listen to me, then translate it. That would be fine. Other thing, I would include some kind of a mode where I really can alter, for instance, the things I said. So for instance, just give me the sentence I said before it is spoken out in the other language. So at least I can have a look at the sentence if that is what I wanted to say, and this one really got it right, and after that, then translate it over. Probably now I don't know anymore what this means if I'm not very fluent in the language or something. So this will at least get rid of one of the steps where a problem could occur, and especially for real life interactions or something, that is very important. Otherwise you might really say something very, very stupid or something that is just offensive or something, and so not yet ready for production, but still a good start. I really like the idea behind it and everything, so just keep on working on it. I really like the app, but be careful to use it in a production like scenario or in the real life. If you really don't know what you're saying there, that could be very harmful. So I would say this is the end of the episode. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, of course. If you didn't, there's the other button too. Of course, if you didn't subscribe till now, there's a button down below there. Doesn't cost anything, just press on it. And other than that, if you have any kind of questions, recommendations, whatever, put them down below into the commentary section. And of course, if you like this video, we will see us in the next episode again. Thank you for watching, thank you for listening, have a great time, have a great day, and bye. Bye.